Hello, investors. This is Ted Zhang, portfolio manager at Revere Asset Management. Today is Wednesday, June 11th, 4:40 p.m. coming to you from Fort Lauderdale with tonight's Revere Roundup Daily Market Insight video. State of the market, we are still in uptrend. Looking at the GROTECTION gauge, market leaders, we have an uptrend with a green arrow, short term above the 21-day exponential moving average, green arrow there. Medium term with the green arrow, and then long term still with the neutral, but this should shift to a green arrow soon. What happened today? Index is digested as nuclear stocks explodes, and we'll go over some of the top movers there. 21 over 21 list down 0.48%, 14 up, 1 neutral, 5 down. Notable stock that was down was Chewy, down 11%. The Turbo 10 up 6.2%. Sorry, I left the 0 out of there from the formatting. 8 up, 0 neutral, 2 down. And the big movers, Qubit, Quantum Name up 25.4%, and SMR up 20.4%. Big 8 down 0.6%, RG8 down 0.04%, pretty much flat. S&P 500 down 0.27%, RSP down 0.28%, Qs down 0.34%, QQEW down 0.24%, Dow Jones literally flat, 0.00%, midcaps down 0.48%, Russell down 0.38%, for global 60/40 equities bonds down 0.03%, GROTECTION up 0.34%, and Turbo up 1.95%. And a lot of that was from SMR, and we'll definitely go over that stock, as well as another stock that led the day. So jumping right into it, as always. We'll start off with the S&P 500. You can see we gapped up a little bit in the morning. Let's go on the 5-minute chart. Gapped up like 17 basis points and pretty much just chopped around for the better part of the whole day up until this 2 p.m. time, where there was some terrorist attack news or some Middle Eastern news, and that slid off a little bit. But really just pretty much a flat day, reversal, a little distribution day here. So they are starting to add up a little bit, but nothing too concerning yet, and we close above 6,000. RSP projected 180, reversed a little bit, nothing too much to talk about here as well. Still normal action. Qs also normal action. We are reaching this left side peak era, so reversals and some struggle is quite normal. Problem is, I'm starting to see some distribution days stacked up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the thing is, with nowadays with high frequency trading and the algos, distribution days have less merit, but it's still something we pay attention to, because all corrections in bear markets start with 5 to 7 distribution days, leading to a distribution cluster. But the key for us are the leading stocks, and you can see the 21 over 21 list acted generally well, and the Turbo 10, which are more speculative, acted extremely well. So there's 2 ways you can interpret that. One is markets are healthy, leaders are taking a break while the more speculative names are running, or this is the end or nearing the end of a momentum run with speculation, XX speculation. QQEW breaks out its cup with handle, normal action, nothing too much to comment about there. Dow Jones literally flat, tried to push out, reversed. Midcaps gapped up, rejected the 200-day so far, and reversed. This might just need to build sideways a little bit before taking out that 3088 level. Russell also gapped up on the cooler CPI and China news, and we'll talk about that later. Rejected the 150-day, declining 150-day, and the bearish engulf so far. But this has been a strong breakout so far, so a reversal is fine as long as we don't just completely fail back in. If we consolidate here, take out the 200-day, that would be healthy price action. The VIX didn't really do anything. Closed at 17.26. Dollar traded down. I think the monthly budget came in, and the U.S. government ran an over $300 billion deficit. No one wants to really own bonds if that is the deficit we're running in 1 month. Just crazy. The dollar sells off there. Gold Fighting support the 20 EMA. There's some VCP action going on here. Gold just looks like it wants to break out eventually. Gold miners retesting the top of the base, getting tight. So we'll see what happens there. Silver has been extremely strong. Huge breakout, normal pullback so far. Bitcoin getting really tight right at this level on the actual Bitcoin chart. That is this 111,000 level. We're forming just really textbook price action, honestly. VCP, 1 contraction, 2 contractions, and now 3. And the 10 is above the 20. Get that aligned, and we are ready to go. Over 111,000 is the trigger. Finally, bonds. See yields all sold off, actually. 2 years down, 7 basis points up off the cooler CPI. I believe the gambling markets are pricing in now 2 rate cuts for the year. 10-year drops as well off the cooler CPI too. So that is good for the economy having lower borrowing costs. And with that being said, that is it for the inter-asset correlation. And now I'll go over the tail of the tape. Still operating in the bull case, trending above the 21 EMA, 34 days above the 21 EMA now. News, we saw cool CPI, which sparked the initial rally, although the indexes did reverse. Like I said, bond market yields traded lower while bonds traded higher off the cool CPI. And Trump says China deal done. So we'll go over to this in the morning. Trump says we are getting a 55% tariff. China's getting a 10%. Trump said deal with China's almost done. Relationship is excellent, and the deal is subject to final approval with Xi Jinping and Donald Trump. So that is that with China and CPI. Today's keys, S&P versus the range of 6,000 to 6,035. We closed in the middle, so nothing significant there. The Qs versus the range of 528 to 534. And we also closed in that range as well. Day count up 3 to up 3, consolidation 1. 12 days above the 8 EMA, 34 days above the 21 EMA. Short-term expectations are still positive. Pretty much the action, which I already reviewed. We gapped up, based, and then sold off a little bit into the close. Well, sold off in the afternoon and then closed slightly higher. S&P ATR continues to trend lower, which is great for a power trend in a low volatility trending environment. That is the exact environment us trend followers want to put on more beta, which we have done in the last few weeks. Strong sectors, bonds were up as bond yields were down, like I talked about. Dollar was down, energy was up, as well as oil and gas. Builders, discretionary real estate were down. Airplanes or jets, builders, and then commercial real estate were down as well. In GROTECTION, we saw no changes. So beta remains at 1.26, 4.5% open heat. Turbo, the only thing we did was offensive trim LEU, 2.15 beta, 6.79% open heat. So let's talk about the trim in LEU. LEU is a nuclear fuel company, so is in that nuclear theme. It was 35% extended from the base breakout. We bought this day and we we're up close to 20%. And just this day today was triggered by some OKLO news with the Department of Defense, and then Amazon re-upping their deal with TLN. And this breached the upper trend line, so we decided to take 33% off at about 162.5. And I'll show you on the 5-minute where we trimmed. We saw this first red candle, and that's where we trimmed right there into strike. And now let's go over the stocks in the portfolio. Let's go over Turbo first. This was the leader for Turbo today. SMR up 20%. This carried our portfolio, contributed to the 1.95% gains. Let's go over the rest. We already talked about the S&P, the Qs. We talked about Bitcoin. Let's talk about Mexico. We tried popping out of this flag, reverse so far, but Mexico has just been a nice trender for us that's less correlated to the US markets. Ethereum, ETHA, I'll go over to the Ethereum chart. And Ethereum broke out above 2,800, and that is where we added more to our position. Remember on the podcast, I talked about us buying initially May 1st. We got this 30% move in 3 days, trimmed 75% off in that strength. We sat through this pretty much 1 month base, and now we added back and even more to our position. What is next? LEU, we talked about that. RKLB, SALT, a failed breakout. And we are just trending higher above the 21 EMA. And since the markets are strong, we are giving this more a chance. But if better opportunities come up and we see this as an opportunity cost, we have no problem cutting it as well. Hood, acting well. Really nothing else to say. Retested near the top of the base and continue higher. Grow owns this too. Tem, also great action. Broke out this flag. We sniped it around 63.70-ish. And I don't know why Market Smith, oh, there we go. It's showing today's price action. We briefly broke over 72, which is another key of resistance. Closed below so far. Maybe we digest a little bit and then we can make an add-on buy above 72. Next, we talk about SMR. ARM is another one. We wanted some semis exposure. Break above the 200-day and this level. That's where we took a position. HIMS, acting strong. Just being accumulated against the 21 EMA. Let's see higher lows being built. This horizontal 51 level is key for HIMS. Grow owns this too. Uber, also acting really well. Bounce off this 82 level. Starting to form a handle here as the 21 EMA curls up. You see there's some nice BCP action as well. And this is potential add-on opportunity here. And finally, GEV, Grow owns this too. Pretty much the base free test off the 21 EMA. And we're back moving higher. And so that is looking good. The stocks that Grow owns that Turbo doesn't, Palantir makes a new all-time high. Perfect action. We got to shake out of this one, but we recovered it with other stocks. NVIDIA, bigger name that Grow owns, just trending higher perfectly. It is the number one really consequential name in the markets, being the picks and shovels of the whole AI revolution. Bros, meandering about, trending above the 21 EMA after the reversal, but still acting fine. Spot just continues to trend higher. SOX L, more semis exposure, just keeps trending nicely, but running into this declining 150. So we have to look at SOX, which is above the 200-day, which is what matters most. And that looks great. So with that being said, those are the portfolios and the updates. Bottom line, indexes digest. As you can see, indexes digest as nuclear explodes. So tomorrow's keys, we're still watching S&P versus the range, 6,000. As you can see, 6,000 to 6,035. Qs versus the range, 528 to 534. So after that, let's go over the 20 over 21 list and then the Turbo 10. Since there's so many stocks to go over, I'll go over the top 5 of each, and then we'll just go over all the Turbo 10 since there's only 10 stocks. CRDO, undercut reclaimed the gap days lows. This is forming a pretty decent flag here. Post earnings. HIMS, already talked about, building higher lows out of this flag. This one reversal day kind of concerns me. Other than that, this is a really nice high type flag. GEV, part of the nuclear theme, but not really. It's more of the sustainable energy and renewable energy theme to power AI and the world. Hood continues higher, and then Palantir also makes a new all-time high. So the liquid leaders are acting well here. You see Palantir, Hood, GEV, HIMS, all acting really well. So on the downside, Chewy was the big down name. On earnings, down 11%. Kind of just back to this base breakout. We'll see if it holds there. CoreWeave tries to break out on a hourly time frame, but gets stuffed, and it is coming back after hours, up 2.5%. Boeing down less than 1%. Perfect action, normal action. NVIDIA still normal action as well, and then IBIT also normal action, getting extremely tight, getting ready for the breakout. So last 5 names only really Chewy is concerning, and the top 5 names are all acting well. And then finally, let's go over Turbo 10. Qubit, just enormous, beautiful move out of this flag. 50% move in 3 days. The shorts are getting squeezed here, and that is really the trade. SMR, nuclear. We talked about the catalysts. Nuclear has gone nuclear today, up 20% today. OKLO is another name. It is down 5% on offering, but it was up 30% today out of this cup with handle. Just amazing action. Over yesterday's highs was really the trigger, and amazing action on huge volume. Lu, another nuclear name. We own this one too. Sold into strength like I talked about. Sezzle continues to just trend perfectly post earnings. Perfect EP action. Study that. HSI comes back. This is a LiDAR name. Doing a flag here. Playable over that line. Lemonade continues to trend higher after this break. Maybe build the right side. Now present an opportunity. TMDX on its earnings report gapped up and has trended so far nicely. RKLB we talked about already with the portfolio. MBIS breaks out above into all-time highs, but coming back in, it is quite extended from 18 to all the way to 50, almost a 3x move. A handle here would be perfect, or a flag. And then eToro has been quite a disappointment. Broke out to new all-time highs, fell right back into the base. So with that being said, I'm gonna wrap up today's video. Conclusion, indexes are digesting. Some leaders acting well, other leaders are digesting, and nuclear shine on the day. So with that being said, you can always email me at ted@revereasset.com if you have any questions. Twitter is at TedHZ. Our Revere firm Twitter is at Revere Asset, and that is on all platforms. Phone 855-GO-WELL. That is 855-732-5932. Our website is Revere Asset, and again, Revere Asset on all social media platforms, YouTube, X, Instagram, and TikTok. If you like what we do, please like, share, and subscribe. And with that being said, thank you very much, and have a good rest of your week.